Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to discuss the one of the critical functions and the main functions of the Excel, that is pivot table. So let's start a topic related to the pivot table, how we are going to use it, and what are the basic functions, how do results are drawn while using the pivot table. So let's start a lecture for the pivot tables. So a pivot table is one of the main features of the Excel that allows you to summarize the thousands of rows and amount into in a summarized manner. For example, you have an inventory sheet which includes lots of inventory items and also have their amount. So you want to summarize these items in a quick way, so pivot table will help you. Now let's discuss. In it is mentioned a pivot table is one of Excel's most powerful feature that allows you to summarize thousands of columns and rows of a spreadsheet to obtain a desired report in a quick and easy manner. Secondly, this helps in the easy analysis of large amount of data. It can be used to find unique values in a field like maximum rate of the product, minimum rate of the product. In last, this is a good way to quickly see all the inconsistencies in data, minimum rate of goods. So this is the main function of the pivot table that helps you to take the quick decisions, that helps you to taking the quick decisions as a part of the management. Now, how to use a pivot table while you're using the Excel, that is important. So, in this video, we are going to discuss the exercises, how to use the pivot table when you have the large amount of data. So, as you can see on your screen, I have categorized into four examples. Number one, that is related with the item wise sum of the quantity, and the number two, item wise sum of quantity and sum of amount. Number three, item wise sum of quantity and sum of amount and maximum rate. Item wise sum of quantity and imported local material. So, what we are going to do is, in the first example where it is written item wise sum of the quantity, so what you have to do is put the uh, put the prefix description in the raw label column and the quantity into value column. So you will have the quantity, sum of the quantity, and the uh, prefix as well. For example, you need to know about how many meters of fabric you have in inventory, so you can put the fabric prefix into raw label and the sum of the quantity in the value. So that will help you to identify how much or how many meters of fabric do you have in your inventory. In the second example, item wise sum of quantity and sum of amount. Similarly, you can place the prefix description in the raw label column, and in the value column you can put the quantity and the amount, so you will get to know how many meters you have and the cost of these meters in your inventory. And the third example related with the item wise sum of the quantity and the sum of amount and maximum rate. So similarly, you will place prefix description in the raw label, the sum of quantity and sum of amount, and rate in the value column. So in the value of column you can click onto the filter and you can select the maximum option out there, so you can get the maximum amount of fabric that is available in your inventory. And in the last, you can categorize your inventory into item wise sum of quantity and imported or local material. So in this example you will place the raw label into your prefix description, the sum of quantity into your value column. Now you can use the above mentioned above mentioned column label where you can place the status description to get the exact imported or local material classification. Now there are some limitation of the pivot table while you are using it, so you must be aware that if any change is made by you on the sheets that on which you are applying the pivot table, so you must refresh your data while using the pivot table. Like it is mentioned, like conditional formatting or data filtering, this tool do not immediately reflect change in data without any additional user input. Pivot table works with the data available at the time of creation, though, and may not immediately update when the data change or new data becomes available. Instead, you may need to refresh the pivot table as mentioned in the picture. While you have made any changes on the sheet on which you are applying the pivot table, you need to refresh the pivot table sheet before using the pivot table option. Now, the second limitation of the pivot table is that if you have any blank column available in the sheet in which you are applying the pivot table option, so the pivot table will not apply or gives you then error where it is mentioned you must use data that is organized as a list with labeled columns. It is like it is mentioned in this sheet where you have a column number C which is highlighted by the red color. This does not have any heading or showing you the what exactly the column is all about. So in this situation, the pivot table will give you the error like it is showing you must use data that is organized as a list with label columns. I hope this lecture will help you guys to understand what are the pivot table use and what are the limitations of the pivot table. So wait for the next lecture where we are going to discuss in detail about the pivot table functioning. Thank you so much.